Welcome to 22 Motivational Minutes with Marlo, where I help passionate entrepreneurs condense an hour of business research into 22 minutes of powerful conversations filled with knowledge, stories, and advice to help you achieve your one-year goal in 90 days. From national stages to your earbuds, I'm here to tell you that it's possible to have a profitable and sustainable business without the fear of overwhelming uncertainty that comes with being an entrepreneur. It's all mojo and none of the fluff. It's time to get motivated in 22 minutes. Okay, so let's start out with the story of you shot me a text. I don't even know when that was. With a question, do you think I'm really going to be able to open up after that? Give me your 2 cents. Where were you at before that? And just walk us through that whole process.
So honestly, everything kind of happened fast. The coronavirus started, spreading. And so March 17th, I made the decision to temporarily close the business just to keep clients and staff safe. And for the first few weeks, I was kind of like, oh, this is going to be short term. It's just a few week ordeal. Everything's going to be fine. And then a few weeks kept going. And I kind of realized oh, this is a serious matter. And those few weeks turned into months. And so, it just kind of started wearing on me, how is the business going to return from this? Is it going to be able to, and all of that. So it just kind of started spinning in my head and the thoughts wouldn't stop. And so finally I just got to the point where I was need some Marlo advice. Is this going to make it? Are we going to be okay? Come back from this.
Okay. So I'm curious too. So obviously, you felt like I was that person to, just to bounce it off of, because, that trusted source, right? We have to go to somebody who's really going to tell us and not tell us what we want to hear, but what we need to hear. And what was my response back to that? Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember word for word, but I do know that you were basically you've overcome a lot. You're going to make it, change the thinking on this and look at opportunities that you could be taking now to keep those clients, stay in contact with them so that they'll return to you when you're able to reopen.
Yeah. So we did a quick phone call, built out a quick $4,000 turnover, just something to take it from is this even possible to truly building out. If you were to do X, X, and X, you could literally have $4,000 coming in almost by the end of the week. And that triggered your mindset of possibility, just kind of looking through options. And what were those options? Were they realistic in your opinion?
They were very realistic. I did some of them and that got me thinking, and I came up with some of my other own ideas and put those into place, and they worked.
Okay. And what did that prove to you? So, you stand as, how many years have you been in business? And then what did that experience prove to yourself?
So we're just 2 months shy of being in business for 5 years. And it just proved that I've built this business from the ground up the last 5 years, and it's not a reason just to stop it completely, just set back a little bit and relook at things and take a different approach to it to continue on.
Yeah. Because we all know, businesses getting to that 5-year mark, entrepreneurs who have that concept and the idea and they start doing it, but then that 5-year mark comes around. A lot of businesses don't make it to that space. Your business has been running, it's been humming, it's been growing, it's been doing, which is phenomenal. But then, you get into the space with a pandemic based on the type of company and service that you offer. And it really makes you second guess everything. To the point where you're maybe I need to go work for somebody else and just throw away my dream.
Very much so. Yeah, I had actually worked on the old resume and submitted it into a few different job opportunities and had an interview set up. So.
Okay, so take us to your mindset. Even the fact that you're in that space, taking time to redo a resume when you're a 6-figure business owner. Seriously, that's how heavy this is. It was real.
Yeah, I went, quite a few nights not sleeping at night, and it's not just my future. It's, I employ a team of 14 people and it's their future too. And if I can't, provide them with a job, that's a lot of weight on my shoulders to be carrying around. So it just felt maybe the easiest solution would be to just walk away and give it up and just end that chapter.
Yeah, but you know what? It was less than a 30-minute call. You flipped the switch. You did a 180. You started to immediately implement some infused actions, just kind of getting the sea legs. I mean, it wasn't anything overcomplicated, but we're saying, hey, you could do these 3 things and turn a profit. I think there was a slice of hope thinking, well, maybe that's possible. So, as those ideas were being shared, what was going through your mind?
Honestly, I always joke that sometimes you just need a dose of Marlo, but it's really true because just jumping on a call with you and you're just so upbeat and optimistic about everything and throwing these ideas out there, like you don't even have to think of them, they just come to you. And then I started thinking on them, I'm like, well, maybe she's right. And then we got off the phone call and I sat in my office for an hour and I was just thinking about what you said and, playing around, brainstorming a little bit, and then just jump right into action.
Okay. So like 3 weeks, maybe, I'm not even going to say 21 full days went by and I reach out with a text, just checking in. And what do I get?
Yeah. Well, it's been a complete 180. So we were closed 2 months to the day. And even the week leading up to our reopening, not only were our clients reaching out wanting to resume services, I had mailed out a letter to them, explaining changes that we were making going forward and just kind of touching base with them to, make us come to the front of their minds again. And so our clients started, setting up schedules to resume with us. And I wasn't running any sort of marketing promotion, none of that. And we got 8 new clients in the week before we were even open. And so not only that, but then I realized I needed to hire. So I had to, not only was I able to bring back all 14 helpers to the full capacity that they were at before COVID-19, but I was able to hire an additional helper. So it's the complete 180. And as of now, we've been reopened for 3 days and we have probably 85% of our clients back, with the other 15 saying they're going to resume in a few weeks as they feel more comfortable.
Yeah. And so, it literally went from throwing in the towel to the mindset of like, I can do this. And you've got those people back employed. You're serving your mission. Your heart is singing. You are in your element, 100% in control of that dream. And that's just where I have to give you the kudos. Because I know it's not easy. I've spent a lot of time on the phone having these kinds of conversations, and me, like that never give up mindset. We've got to stay in that, like, what's possible? Like, just imagine if we could do this. And I think for a lot of us, it's just that mindset, the power that has. And we got stinking thinking, like, that's when we're writing resumes and going to work for somebody else. But you pulled back and said, no, I'm not going to do that. And look at your team. I can't even imagine how grateful they are to you, Kelly, for doing what you did and being bold and brave, because it's not easy. Nothing that you did in this time frame has been easy. Nothing. But what did you learn about yourself as an entrepreneur?
I've actually learned a lot, despite, kind of the negative mindset a few weeks ago. I took a lot of time over the 2 months that we were closed to really just kind of take a big look at the business and look at where we were, what needed some attention, what could we improve upon, all those sorts of things.
Yeah.
So
that's Bentley, because we're all like, Bentley's got to chime in and have a little bit of fun with us.
So I basically sat back and honestly, I pulled out, when I first started the business, I wrote out a business plan and, it had our mission statement. It had the core principles that I built this business on. And I took a look at that and I came up with goals and a plan of where I wanted the business to go going forward. And I addressed all the things that needed to be changed. And that included a lot of like just reaching out and connecting with all of our clients, asking for feedback on what we could improve upon. I built a whole new training manual for my team, and we did a lot of training and a lot of teamwork over those 2 months. And it was just really a great opportunity to, despite being closed, it was nice to not have all those emails and texts and calls and work that needed to be done, where I could just kind of step back and focus on where things were at and what comes next.
So it was a forced reflection. I think most of us have been pushed into that forced reflection, like really kind of forcing us to look at the business differently, you know? And here's the thing, like the plans that we're talking about, you know, with the pandemic going on and not being able to be in contact with people, with the type of business that you're in with Everyday Helper, you know, you are a contact sport. You know, you guys are, you're helping people, and the things that you do from, you know, dog walking, house cleaning, you know, mulching, window, all of those full services that you provide to the clients who really do need you. Catalyst, absolute catalyst. And I love the validator for your business, because you will now be as strong as ever, Kelly, because look how you were able to grow. I mean, what does that right there tell you? People are seeking you out and go, I want you, in a time where a lot of people would be most afraid, and yet they're raising their hand, willing to say yes and standing in line for your service.
Yeah.
That's just super cool. Okay, so there's two ends. Yeah, it is. And that's why I think that's why the power, and everybody knows me, I value recognition. Like I value the reflection of having this conversation to kind of circle back. And again, that's the reason why we're putting it out there in a podcast, because we do need other people hearing this message. So to give them the fuel on those days where they feel like they just want to, you know, give up the fight. Okay, so then here's the other thing that I find the most powerful about you. I mean, like take people through the story. You know, we were going through the coaching process, and one of our times, you know, like you had set a goal. Like I would really like to throw it on my 5-year plan. I really want to look forward and see, God, I would love to grow by, you know, how many people at the time? Do you remember?
I think it was 5 people. I think I did everything in like 5 increments for that.
So the 5-year plan was literally accomplished in 5 months. Take us to that story. Like take us to the desire of growth. If you can like take yourself into that space, where were you at? And then take us through that experience.
Yeah. So I've known you, I mean, pretty much since the start of the business, and a year or so into it, it was kind of a similar situation where I was like feeling stuck and kind of defeated and not sure of the direction of the business. And we sat down, and I vividly remember this. You sat there with a blank piece of paper and started drawing your scribbles all over it like you do. We just came up with a 5-year plan, you know, in terms of how many people I wanted to hire, what services I wanted to add, what I wanted to be, you know, monthly revenue, yearly revenue, all those kinds of things. And we sat down, came up with that list, and I went to town working on it. And that 5-year plan happened in 5 months. So, and actually I have it framed in my office just because it's that good reminder and do it.
Oh my God. Like seriously. Okay. Now, do you have like a master's in accomplishment or anything? I mean, have you like been trained to do all these things?
No, I'm a very goal-driven person though. I mean, you get that idea stuck in my head, I will do anything to achieve it. So I think that helps.
Well, and you're a risk taker, you know, and that's the thing. We teach, I love to help people mitigate risk, but you come to that decision of, am I going to cross the line? Am I going to take the risk? Am I going to kind of go for it and see what happens? And it's on the other side of that, you know, that hero's journey that we were like, oh my God, I did that. You know, you challenged yourself to do it. And as people are listening to this right now going, oh my God, somebody accomplished a 5-year goal in 5 months. We're here to say it's possible because I witnessed it. And like you said, you've got that piece of paper of that plan written out as an anchor, right? Because it's a reminder. Okay, so then how do you use that to reflect and to fuel you to keep going? Do you?
I do. So actually, I literally look at that 5-year plan every day. It hangs right across from where my desk is. So I see it all the time. But I also, you know, taking a lot of the things that like I learned from you, I implement them. And one of the biggest things is I do end each month and I reflect and I look back at the whole month and I set goals for the next month. And it's kind of fun because for the last, 5 years, I have this whole binder and you can look through it and every month it tells you like where the business was at, what the goals were, if we achieved them. And it's fun to sit there and look back at that. And so I've also found that on the days that feel like, it's more of a weight on my shoulders than normal, just pull out that binder and, look through it. And it's like, what has been working? What have we achieved? And that fuels me to keep going.
Oh my God. Yeah. You got to have a playbook. That's the cornerstone to everything because success is not hard. We make it hard.
Yes.
And yes. I'm a firm believer in that. And I know you can witness and speak that truth as well, because it's just really having a clear concept, matching it to some chunked out actions, you're going to get the result. If you have conviction, you're going to do it. You're going to do it. So right there, it's not like that's, anything we just described is rocket science. It's just literally you have to roll up your sleeves and do it. Yeah. Okay,
Very
so tell
much,
us
yeah.
about Everyday Helper. Why did you start it? So let's just kind of close on that. Why did you start Everyday Helper, and give us how we can find out more and go into that space?
Sure. So back in 2015, both my grandmas started going through a lot medically. One of my grandmas neared the end of her life and was in hospice, but leading up to that, there was just a lot of medical struggles. And so we watched her going from care center to care center and hospital and home, and just realizing that there wasn't affordable services in the area to help that process, to help keep her in her own home longer, which is what she wanted, which is what everybody wants. And during that time, my other grandma took a fall and broke her hip and was in and out of care centers and home and, same kind of battles. And so it just was a big hit to our family. And so it's really when the idea sparked. I did a lot of research on it and decided that, we needed more affordable services in the area. Services exist, but people can't afford them. So I launched Everyday Helper in June 2015. And at that time, the original service we offered was just companion care, and that was just myself. And then from there, we started getting people asking like, oh, do you do this? Do you do that? So today, the business offers over 12 services, everything from house cleaning to dog walking to senior companion care, errand running, event planning, all of that. And the business has just steadily grown from there. And we keep evolving, into a nonprofit partnership now where we provide free house cleaning to cancer patients in the area. So it's been an incredible journey, and we just keep growing with it.
That story right there, you are a true entrepreneur, right? You saw an opportunity. You saw how you can help people. And just anybody who knows Kelly, I mean, you are like a woman of heart. Like, you know how to serve. What a servant leader you are. And I think too, it's easy for your team to come to work every day and to run with you and to be on that team, because they too are servant leaders. You are what you attract. Your team reflects that too. So super, super powerful. Well, this is good. Okay, so where can we find you? So if somebody wanted to look this up, maybe, and here's the thing I'm going to say, you and I came together because I was a gift card, right? Do you remember a friend of yours?
You were a birthday present.
I was a birthday present. She's like,
Best birthday present I've ever received.
In the kindest way. You're going to work with Marlo. And anyways, because I was thinking back to them, like, how did Kelly and I get connected? And it was like, it was through another client.
And to be honest, I was so nervous and not sure it was going to be anything. I was like, I'll do this. And now here we are 5 years later.
God. Yeah. Just we keep kicking the tires too, because like I always say, I love to build clients for life, and I just don't go away. Like, I love being that vested partner, and that's very important to me in serving people, because I know what it's like to feel stuck. And, having somebody that you trust that can just give you the hard facts and just walk you through it, I've been there too. So the value is there. So, okay, where can we find you? Like, if somebody wants to purchase a gift card or service.
Sure. So we have a website, which was actually just revamped over our 2-month break, and that is youreverydayhelper.com. We're also on all the social media, Facebook, Everyday Helper, Twitter, Instagram, and also a great way to follow us or learn more about us is if you visit our website, there's a little pop-up that asks you if you want to subscribe to our monthly newsletter, and that's a great way to just kind of read about what we're up to and learn more about us.
Yeah. And I love getting your newsletter. It's always filled with heart and like tips and pointers and, just different things. I love it because it always, keeps me close to what you guys...
It's been revamped over the last 2 months, so get ready. June's is going to be a good one.
Oh my goodness. Well, hey, bless you for getting through this. Not easily. A few skin knees, some rough patches, but look at you today. Oh my gosh, I could not be more proud of you and your team, one foot in front of the other, one day at a time. So kudos to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, my friend. Well, this is really good, and we look forward to having you listen and share this episode. And if you liked it, you can engage with our Facebook community. So Perform and Get Paid, where we'll engage and connect and keep the conversation going. So thank you so much. Did you enjoy this podcast? If so, subscribe, leave a review, and tell your friends. As your Chief Inspirational Officer, I coach passionate entrepreneurs like you to achieve complete confidence and clarity to reach your 1-year goal in 90 days. Learn how you can get more done in less time with my #1 proven formula for consistency and clarity. Simply go to go.marlohiggins.com to download. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next week on 22 Motivational Minutes with Marlo.